Hello lovely Flosstube friends and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lauren, also known as Cross Stitch Bunny, here on YouTube and over on Instagram. It is the 31st of May, the last day of the month, and I am here with a very unexpected Flosstube episode. I did not think I would get a chance to film this today whatsoever, but it is currently about 8 o'clock. The children are in bed and Adam decided to go out for an impromptu bike ride on his bike, with the evenings being so light and it's good weather today. So I'm just snatching this little bit of quiet time because there is no chance that I will get to film tomorrow, and before I know it we'll be well into June. So yes, stealing this little bit of quiet time. I don't know how long I'm going to have, and this has been very unplanned, so I've just sort of grabbed everything quickly. I've not got any notes, so we'll see how this goes. The things that I have to share with you today are 6 projects in total. 2 of them are finishes, so I am very excited about that. 2 finishes for the month of May. I also have 4 other WIPs that I have worked on. I've got a quick WIP Go update for you in terms of my WIP Go goals, whether or not I've achieved them. The answer to that is both yes and no. I've partially achieved my WIP Go goals and we'll have a little look at that. And I've also got the giveaway winners for both giveaways that were featured in Flosstube episode 50. That being said, I've not actually drawn the winners because, like I said, this was super unplanned. I did put a warning on my Instagram for everyone to enter by the 30th, which was yesterday. I haven't got around to doing the draw yet, but what I am going to do is just draw the winners on a random like comment picker, searching for those keywords of fox and chicken. And I'm just going to do that when I finish filming, and then I will slot it in somewhere in the video. So yes, right, let's get on with the stitching, and we will start with the finishes. My first finish is my very oldest WIP. I have completed it. So super excited about that. Here is my lovely sort of love sampler. The design is by the designer Gail Bussi. This was originally featured in a magazine. Unsure which one at this point and which issue, but this was a magazine pattern. However, I knew that it was available to buy just as a standalone pattern, and my nice friend Charlie Feathers messaged me after my last episode that I showed this in, saying it's actually available under the Imaginating brand of patterns. So if you like this and you want to buy it, it is available to buy in that range. And here is my finish. So I just stitched this on 14 count basic white Aida using I think CXC threads. Don't quote me on that, not 100% sure. As I said, no notes today. But I am super happy with how it has turned out. All these little motifs, little butterfly and plant part, the heart, these floral and heart motifs, my little ladybirds and the tiny little bird at the bottom, and the writing does say, "Follow your heart always." So really super happy to have this finished and ticked off my list. It was my oldest WIP, started in 2021, so it felt really good to get this one crossed off my list. When I was finishing it, I did have a bit of a disaster at the top here. So I'd already put in the top border, and then somehow, I don't know how, but I'd done it like 4 or 5 rows like short of where it should have been. It was too low. And if I go very close here, I think you can still see slightly here where I had to unpick that entire border because I'd done all of the green line and all of the pink, and it all had to come out. But overall, I don't think it's too noticeable. And there it is. Finish number 1. Finish number 2 is another one that I'm really excited about, probably more excited about this one because I have finally finished Hadley's alphabet. So this is the DesignWorks Animal ABC kit, and I was really hoping to get this finished by the end of April, was the original plan. That didn't happen, but I was only a month late and I have finished it in time for the end of May. And here it is, my completed animal alphabet. I am so incredibly happy to have this one all done and all finished. I absolutely love it. I start from the top and give you a really good look at all the animals. And obviously it is this bottom bit down here that you have not seen completed because the top has all been finished for quite some time. But I have finally finished all of this bottom section and I'm super happy with this. I stitched this with all the kit supplied material. So again, this is just on a basic white 14 count Aida that came with the kit. I used all the kit supplied threads, which I believe are Anchor. And no, actually they are Anchor. And I did want to mention, because I've forgotten on a couple of previous videos to feed back the couple of people when I was complaining about running out of the black in this kit, and they definitely had not supplied enough black. I did mention it on my Flosstube and I said I wasn't sure what brand was used in the kit, so I was worried whether I used DMC or Anchor or CXC or Royal Broidery. Like, they can be different thicknesses, can't they? And I was like, I hope that the bottom animals don't end up with like a thicker or thinner outline than all the other backstitch that had already been completed. A few people did say to me, why don't you just contact the kit manufacturer and ask them to send you out some spare black thread? So I did, and I messaged them. As soon as that was suggested to me, I emailed them, and I must say that DesignWorks did get back to me within a matter of a couple of days, and they offered, well, they basically said to me, they confirmed that the thread that they use for the black, at least, I don't know if it's all the threads, but they confirmed that the black in their kits is Anchor. And then they said, do you want us to send you out some black Anchor? And to be honest, I just said, no, it's fine. I was just like, thank you for confirming what the brand is, because I already had black Anchor in my stash. So there wasn't much point in getting them to ship out black Anchor to me when I had some sat at home, but it did mean that I could be confident that I was using the same thread. So I have stitched all of the bottom of it with the black Anchor to do all my outlines, and that is that. Very happy with how it's turned out. Really pleased. Hadley is going to love this. I just need to frame it, and unfortunately, like all the frames that I seem to have in my stash seem to be square. I don't know why. I do have quite a selection of frames in my little studio, like where all the Stitch Bunny shop stuff lives. I also have a personal frame stash just of frames for when I finally get round to FFOing things, but none of them seem to be rectangular. They all seem to be square. So I do need to probably buy a frame for this. I'm just going to get something cheap and basic and not fussy, because it's just going to hang in Hadley's room. I'm thinking maybe like either a white, black or grey frame. I guess I could pick out one of the colours from the animals, but yeah, I thought we'd just go with like a neutral, very basic, very plain frame, and that will be perfect in his bedroom, hopefully very soon. Daisy's birthday is in literally 2 weeks' time, so I was thinking I've got a couple of cross stitches that I need to FFO for her in time for her birthday, so I can FFO this one also hopefully by the middle of June and gift this to Hadley when it's Daisy's birthday, so that even though it's not his birthday, he gets a piece of stitching from me at the same time. Oh yeah, and the one amendment that I made to this pattern when I was stitching was just to change the lettering here to Ladybird instead of Ladybug, because it did come with Ladybug, but we are in England, and we tend to call them ladybirds here, so I did just make that amendment. I didn't change the actual animal itself, just the text. So there is my animal alphabet, 2 finishes ticked off my list, and that has brought me down to 29 WIPs. Drum roll! I am under 30 WIPs and I am so very happy about that. I was battling to try and get below 30 WIPs to come into 2024, and I managed maybe in like October or November of last year to get down to 30 WIPs extremely briefly. And when I say briefly, I think it was a matter of like one day. Like I managed to get below that 30 and then I picked up like 2, 3, 4, 5 new starts. I really want to try and get my WIPs down to being somewhere between like the 20 and 25 mark is where I'd really like to be, but that is more of a long-term goal. However, I'm really glad that I'm going into June with less than 30 WIPs. I'm officially back into the 20s, which is nice. That being said, I have had a little look back in my book and I have not had a new start since February. My last new start was for my birthday, which was at the end of February, and I do feel a little bit sad to not be starting new things. And I have so many like spring inspired patterns, like especially those that were in my spring kit parade. There's so many things in there that I wanted to start while it is spring, although some of them were also summery designs because that kit parade was both spring and summer kits. So we will see. I don't want to start having a rush of blood to the head and starting all the things, because I've worked really hard to try and reduce my numbers. But it would be nice to have a cheeky new start. We'll see. I might try and finish one more thing. If I can finish one more thing and get down to 28, then even with having a new start, I can stay under that 30. So I think that is my current sort of little side goal in the back of my mind, is to finish something so that I can have a new start but remain in the 20s. We will see. We'll see if it happens. We're going to move on to WIPs now. So I've got 4 WIPs to share with you that I have worked on in the month of May. And this is covered in fluff. This is the first one, and I'm just going to try and remember the designer before I start speaking about this because I don't have my notes. Okay, so I think the designer, it's definitely Anastasia, and I think that the surname is Usova, Anastasia Usova. I'm pretty confident. And this is my Sapphire dragon piece. So this was a combined birthday and year of the dragon new start for me. I started this on my birthday in February of this year. So this is the most recent project that I've started. It's my newest WIP. I love it. I love all the colours in it. And it was Anita, the Violet Stitcher, that persuaded me to buy this pattern and stitch along with her. We have both started it. I do need to have a little catch up on some of Anita's more recent Flosstubes, so I'm not sure how far on she is. I had been making a little bit of progress on this, but I hadn't picked it up too much. And then on my WIP go for the month of May, one of the prompts, one of the numbers that was called, required that I stitch on a dragon WIP for 5 hours. So that is what I have done. So since you last saw this on Flosstube, it has had 5 hours worth of work, and this is what it is looking like now. So this is 5 hours of stitching versus last time you saw it, and I did literally do the 5 hours and then stop. I'm not entirely sure which bits are new. I worked on this at the very beginning of May to just get it ticked off that list immediately so that I could feel good about completing one of my WIP Go goals. So yes, I'm not sure which bits are new. I do know that I was working on some blended threads, and the blended threads are in this lighter section, so I think that may have grown a little bit. But Really enjoying this. I am stitching this on Navy Ada, and I think this is an 18 count, but I don't have my notes with me. I'll do a better job of confirming fabrics in a later episode. But beautiful pattern, beautiful colours, enjoying working on this. So that is WIP number 1, and that is a WIP Go goal ticked off the list. Now, my second and third WIP Go goals for the month were both the same. I got stitch on a fancy lady called twice for the month of May. In May, there were 3 numbers called because the number 13 had been called. Some people leave the number 13 blank on their WIP Go. I did not. So, yes, I had 3 rather large stitching goals for this month. One of which was my dragon, which I've ticked off. However, I've only managed to do one of my other 2 goals. So fancy lady, I picked Baker's Wife to stitch on, and it was my intention to stitch on her for 10 hours to do both of those 5-hour goals. I've only done 5 hours. So since you last saw her, this is what she looked like. I have done 5 hours of progress, 5 hours of stitching, and this is what we are looking like at the moment. This is a mixture of beading and stitchy progress. I think she's looking really good. A lot of these bits here are like very sort of confetti. There's a couple of stitches of different pinks and oranges. It's kind of all dotted round. Same on this side. So I've done a bit of that confetti stitching. I've done a lot of the beading here, and then I've worked my way down. There's quite a lot of white stitching here, which I hopefully think that the camera is picking up because my fabric is greeny pink, so the white does stand out fairly well. And I've continued down. I was really keen to get to this gorgeous sort of teal, bluey green colour. I think it is beautiful, the colour of her dress. Absolutely love it. I think it's really the colour of her dress that drew me to this design in the first place. I just adore it so much. I was really excited to do some stitching on it, so I've sort of worked my way down. I wanted to get away from doing all the pink and the white and the greys that are up top, and I've worked my way down to here. I am going to sort of carry on back from up here when I pull her out again, because I do need to catch up. I've got 5 hours to do on this to catch up with my WIP Go. I'm rolling that goal into June, so I do need to do another 5 hours on this lovely lady in June to complete my May goals. And I'm going to carry on with the filling in up here, because although I have done quite a lot of the beading and filling in, there are quite a lot of spaces that I've left. There's all the beads to sort of come down on this side and here, and then there's quite a lot of other confetti bits in reds and pinks under here, like where her ruffle is. So yes, there's a lot of filling in to carry on doing. I was doing my best to work from the top down, but I got a bit bored. I wanted a change of colour, so I jumped down to here. Start back from the top and carry on working my way down again now that I've had my little fix of doing a different colour for a while. But I think she's looking lovely. I am stitching her on 32 count sparkle blush blooms from my own Stitch Bunny shop, and it is sparkly. I don't know if you can see it in this light, but it is. It sparkles. So that is my second WIP to share with you. 2 more to go. Everything is in its bag today. This was such a last minute filming decision. But I'm glad that I am doing it, because tomorrow I am a child taxi service. I have got a birthday party to take the kids to, and their regular Saturday swimming lesson to take them to. I do not think I would have had any time to film yesterday, today, tomorrow. Oh, I am frazzled, guys. My brain is fried. I would not have had time to film tomorrow, so I'm glad that I've made time this evening. Oh, giving you a spoiler then before I've shown you the pattern. See, I'm not with it tonight. This is Beachcomber. It's a lovely Lindy Stitches pattern. I absolutely love this so much. I had not worked on this for a really good long while, and something just inspired me to pull it out. I'm not sure what, because it's not a WIP Go goal. I just really fancied stitching on this. So this is what it looked like last time you saw it. And I'm pretty sure the picture that I'm going to slot in here will be from my January WIP parade, because I really don't think I've worked on it at all since then. So here, I'll show you now. Now I'm ready to show you. This is where we are. And there is a ton of progress on this, as you can see. So I have filled in quite a bit more of this over dyed thread here. This is called Lighthouse. I forget whether it's Classic Colour Works or a Weeks Dye Works. Not sure, but this is like an over dyed lovely thread called Lighthouse. And I filled in quite a lot more of this box, and then I have filled in the 2 lines of text there. So my heart resides beside the sea. I've still got to do the text and the rest of the box, but I've done that. The whale was already completed, but I had not done anything above the whale, I don't think, except perhaps this little blue motif. So I have done the starfish, the little border bits. I've done this really cute sand dollar. I absolutely love this. Love sand dollars as a creature. If you don't know much about sand dollars, like, I'm not going to start giving you a lesson in marine species at this point. But it's worth a read. Like, they're really, really interesting urchins. Really interesting urchin species. And then I've done some of these little pebbles. I think they're pebbles. There are 14 pebbles across the top of this border, and I have done 7 of them, so I'm exactly halfway. And then down here, my little crab is now complete. He has been a legless crab for so very long, so I am very pleased that he now has legs. Also, just something to point out that I found when I was stitching this pattern. The little crab, I had already put the eyes in, and they were charted in this light pink, the same as the claws. So I had already stitched the eyes on this crab, and it was only when I came to do the legs, and then I was looking at the model stitch picture on the pattern, and it just caught my attention that the crab in the pattern had dark coloured little eyes to match the tips on the claws and the legs. And then I looked at the pattern and realised that it's been stitched on the model stitch with the dark, which looks a lot better and is obviously how it's intended to be, but on the pattern the symbols were incorrect. So if you follow the pattern, you will stitch the eyes in the wrong colour. I have also noticed on the chart, so if I just pop up the model stitch picture for you guys, sort of, I think it's under here. It's somewhere under the whale. Like, again, if you have this pattern and you're stitching, somewhere under the whale, if you look at the model picture, there is like another one of these little blue motifs, but it isn't charted on the chart. So it's actually missing from the chart, but you see it on the model stitch. So yes, I've found a few discrepancies since I repicked this up, where things are either charted in a slightly different colour and then stitched in a different colour on the model stitch, or there's some symbols that appear on the model stitch but they're just completely missing from the charting. So yeah, just something to bear in mind if you have this pattern or you're thinking of buying this pattern. You know, if another print run has been done, maybe these issues have been corrected and maybe your pattern will be absolutely fine. But it's just worth just having a little check before you start stitching, and you may want to just like rechart like this motif into the spot where it should be under here. I think it's identical. Like, I'm going to obviously double check before I stitch it, but I'm just going to have a look at the model stitch photo and and just check, because it's not a very big motif, so I'll just check that it is the same size as this one here, and then I can just copy that and put it in the right place. But yes, I will be watching out for any other discrepancies with this, just because I have picked up on a few. So just something worth mentioning if you're going to stitch this, because this is such a gorgeous design. I know that a lot of people either have it or maybe plan on having it. I know quite a few of my stitchy friends who have this in their stash that have not started it yet, so I just thought that was worth a mention. I am stitching this on just a very basic sort of sandy coloured background. Again, no notes today, it's a disaster. I don't think this is raw linen, but it could be. Is it raw or is it dyed? You know, it might be raw, it might be dyed. Not sure. Let's just enjoy the beautiful stitching. I will be better prepared for episode 52. It is definitely a 32 count. I'm fairly confident of that. And this is being stitched in all the called for colours. So it's got a range of DMC and over dyes. And I'm just using everything that was called for. So that is WIP number 3, which leaves me just one WIP left to share with you today. And that is my little travel WIP. So this is my Mill Hill kit. Excuse me. I should have brought a drink upstairs. I did not. We will power through. This is my Mill Hill buttons and beads stitching bird kit. The name of the kit is here, so it is just Stitching is the name of it, and it has this reference number here. Lovely cute little design. So this is on 14 count perforated paper that I'm stitching this on with all the kit supplies, and I'll pop a picture on the screen of last time you saw it. Now I don't tend to stitch on this unless I am going somewhere, and I don't travel all that often, but I have literally just returned from 3 or 4 days at my mum and dad's house. When I go there, usually I take this with me and I get nothing done because I'm spending time with my mum and dad. But my visit to their house this time was a little bit different because I travelled there just with the children. I wanted to take them for quite a few days out, like in and around where I grew up as a child, like fun activities around there. We took them to the like the theme park that isn't too far away. When I say we, myself and my best friend Adele, who came as backup, we took them to a theme park that we used to go to as kids, and I took them to a few other places, but I was there for 4 nights by myself. My friend Adele joined us for like one of the day trips out, but she didn't stay over or anything like that. So I had 4 evenings where after I'd put the kids to bed, it was just me. So each evening I stuck on a film that Adam would hate, period dramas, rom-coms. I did all of that. Like every night I would pick one film to sit and watch. I'd pull out my stitching, and I got quite a bit done. So this is how it is looking now. And I don't know about you, but I think that is a massive amount of progress considering that this does not usually see the light of day. Very, very pleased. Sorry about the shadows. We're starting to lose the light, ladies and gents. If there are any gents watching, we're losing the light. I've done quite a lot. So this bird is really taking shape. I've filled in quite a bit more blue. All of this green and everything down here is new, and I have reached the bottom of the design. Like these stitches here are the very bottom row, and I've also worked my way all the way up to the top on both sides here. This piece is almost a full coverage, but it literally just has these wavy cloud edges at the top that aren't squared off, so it's not quite full coverage in the sense that there is just these wavy bits here, but all down here will be completely square and full coverage. But I have reached both of the top corners, as it were, where the cloud bits are. I've reached this bottom corner. So yeah, you can sort of see now where it will be. You don't get much margin with this paper. You can see that I have centered it, like I've pretty much got it spot on with being in the center. And you don't get much border at all. But then at the same time, if you're framing these, you don't need, I guess you don't need to lace them or anything like that, and they are literally just going to sit in a frame. My doorbell is ringing and it is 8:15. That is very strange. I'll be right back. That was a dog food delivery. We order our dog food in bulk in quite big bags because we get through so much of it. And yes, they've decided to deliver it at 20 past. It's 8:20. I was not expecting that. I'm out of breath now because I just ran down the stairs as fast as I could and then back up again. But all is well. The dog food is in the house. We can continue. I've lost my bearings now. That's all my stitching, guys. That is everything. That is all my stitching to show you. So this is a really good spot to pause in and do some giveaway results. As I said, this was an unplanned episode, so I haven't been organised and got like the comment picker ready or anything. But what I'm going to do is I will insert winners here and might do a little voiceover or something just to announce who is the winner. So yeah, let's do it like this. So the winner of the fox chart is, we'll go ta-da, but I'm not going to do a voiceover. You can just read it on the screen. So have a little look on the screen, see if your name and your comment is there. Congratulations, you are the winner of the fox chart. This was the worldwide giveaway. Okay, and then let's do the chicken kit. So this is the winner of the chicken kit. Ta-da! Is it your name? Make sure you're checking the screen and that you're looking up from your stitching if you entered. Well done, chicken kit winner. This was a UK giveaway. If both winners would please like to message me, you can either message me on Instagram to my Cross Stitch Bunny account. The name will be on the screen right now, so send me a private message on Instagram, or you can email me. I will put my email on the screen. Either method, whichever you prefer. Instagram message me, email me. I will need your address details and all that jazz in order to send you these kits. And both winners, I'll just pop both of you on the screen again. Both winners will have until the end of this month, being June. Technically it is the 31st of May today, but this may not even go up till tomorrow morning. We will see, but June. End of June, please. If you contact me before the end of June, if I don't hear from either winner by the last day of June, I will do a redraw for one or both of these prizes in one of my June episodes. So yes, I hope that you are watching and I hope that you claim your prizes. I cannot wait to send them to you, and I hope that you both really love and enjoy them. So that is the giveaway done. Very strangely, I feel really weird because I don't know who's won. I don't know who's won. The only last thing I need to show you is a tiny bit of haul. So I really have not been buying stuff. I've been trying not to buy stuff, but there was this one pattern and it popped up on Instagram. Somebody was destashing it. I just saw a post pop up and I couldn't resist it. I just thought it was gorgeous. This lovely Annie B's folk art chart. And this is from the Sheltering Tree series, of which there are 4 designs. There is one for every season. This is the spring sheltering tree. And I just absolutely loved it with the gorgeous little bunnies and like the love heart above the tree. I just think it's so pretty. I love everything about this. The only thing is that out of the other 3 designs, I think there's only one other that I really love, which I think is the one with the squirrels. And then there's one that I like, and then there's one that I'm not too bothered about. So I don't think I'm going to stitch this as a series, like as a series of 4 seasons. Chances are I would just stick to doing it as a standalone, this one piece, and therefore I don't know when I stitch it whether I will put the spring wording on it. I haven't decided, but I may just leave that off and just have it as a pretty piece that doesn't actually reference spring. We will see. And the lovely lady that I got this from in D-Stash sent me a little something extra, which is this gorgeous Lizzie Kate snippet. And it's called Hop Squared. It is number either 578 or S78. Not sure if it's a 5 or an S at the beginning of the chart reference, but it is called Hop Squared. And I just think it is so super cute. One of the little snippets. And this uses all Weeks dye works, but it's got both DMC and Anchor equivalents inside it. So that's lovely. To be honest, for the size of it, unless I've already got the particular Weeks dye works in my stash, maybe left over from other things, I will probably just do this in the DMC because it is so little. And it's so little, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's like 11 Weeks dye works in this. And I'm not sure that I want to buy 11 Weeks dye works to do this tiny, teeny little pattern. So I'll probably just do the DMC. But I do love the pattern, and yeah, super, super nice surprise to get that included. Thank you very much. That is everything that I have to share with you. My life update, in a way, I've sort of done. It has been the kids' holidays. I have just returned from my parents' house, but they were not there because they were away. So I was just basically using their house as a base to take the kids to different places. And I was also trying to get the kids out of my house so that Adam could do painting. So he has been working quite hard while I've been away, getting painting done, doing the last bits, because on Monday, today is Saturday? No, today's Friday. I'm losing track of all my days. Today is Friday, and on Monday, the kids go back to school, but also the estate agents are finally coming out, I think at 9 a.m, bright and early in the morning, and they are going to be photographing our house, doing the floor plan, doing everything. Like, it is finally happening. It is happening. I'm not sure how much stitching I'm going to get done over the course of the next month. Between now and Monday, it is just going to be all about the last minute cleaning and tidying, and also just trying to battle the mess that the kids are still going to be creating on this last couple of days they are home before school resumes. So I'm going to have a little bit of a battle on my hands, I feel. Just going to do my best to try and keep on top of everything for the next few days, and then on Sunday afternoon, Adam's parents are going to have the children from lunchtime till bedtime. So that will give me like half a day on Sunday to try and just absolutely blast and finish all the things that need to be finished. So we are photo ready for Monday morning. Very exciting, but also very super stressful. And I just hope it's all worth it. I hope all the hard work of getting everything ready is going to be worth it, and that we actually get an offer, because you never know, do you? You never know until you list a house for sale whether anyone is going to buy it. So we'll see. Hopefully it wasn't all a giant waste of time. Fingers crossed. But as I said, June is going to be an interesting month. The house is going to be going on the market like in the first week of the month. So then, depending potentially on like how much interest we get, how many viewings we get, I might find myself having to be out of my house at times when we would otherwise be in the house so that people can come and view it. That might have an impact on my stitchy time. And also I just feel that I'm definitely going to be on a constant treadmill of trying to clean and tidy, mostly after the kids, just getting everything like perfect, so that we basically can have visitors come at a moment's notice if we get a phone call. So all in all, I think June might be a little bit of a quiet stitchy month for me. I do have quite tall WIP Go goals. So my WIP Go goals, I don't have notes for my Flosstube, but I do have a WIP Go sheet here somewhere. So let's have a quick look. My WIP Go goals that have been called for the month of June are 5 hours on an animal themed WIP. That was number 2 that's been called. Number 2 was called for June. My other one is number 25, which is 5 hours on a fancy lady. So where that leaves me for June, goal-wise, is that I've got 5 hours on a fancy lady that I still need to do from my May goals that I am carrying. I've got a new goal for 5 hours on a fancy lady, so that's 10 hours. I've got 10 hours to do on fancy ladies again. Doesn't have to be Baker's Wife, it could be any fancy lady, but I think she is the one that I'm going to stick to for at least 5 of those hours. So for one of those goals, then I'll see how I feel. I might swap to a second fancy lady, or I might carry on with her. We will see. And then I've got my 5 hours on an animal themed WIP, which could be anything. I've got so many that have animals on them. I may well pick up my Beachcomber and carry on with that, because that is an animal. My dragons, I've got 2 dragons on the go. They are fantasy animals, but I think I would still count them as animal WIPs. And I've got plenty of others. I've got my Bothy Rendell Variety of Life piece, which is gorgeous. I've got my Winter Woods that I am supposed to be stitching with Rosie. I need a slap on the wrist because I've not been keeping up with our sale. I am sorry, Rosie. Rosie has pulled hers out and she has sent me pictures. She has done very well on picking hers up and doing some stitching. I do need to fit that in somewhere in the month of June, so maybe that could be a good one to work on for my animal goal. And that is everything. I now have company. Mr. Stitch Bunny is home, so I'm going to say goodbye everyone. Take care. I hope that you all get some lovely stitchy time. I will do my best to see you in the middle of June, but it will really depend on how much stitching I've managed to fit in those couple of weeks. If I don't see you in mid-June, I will see you at the end of the month. Bye guys, take care.